you are not responsible for your upbringing. You are not responsible for how your parents brought you up until the point where you are old enough to decide, you are old enough to think for yourself. And in most countries, that's 18 years old. You see, our parents can only do so much. They are just like any other human beings. They are not superhumans. They can only teach you what they learned growing up. And there's so many rules in society, like over 1 billion rules, can only get so much. And then they pass on what they know onto you. Now, what I find is that some people grow up with the values that their parents taught them, whether good or wrong. And you find them telling you that this, my father taught me this, my mother taught me this. It's not about what your mother taught you or what your father taught you. It's what your father taught you, right or wrong. You get it? Because believe it or not, your parents can teach you something that is wrong. And they don't even know that it's wrong because they don't know. But they've taught you something. They've taught you something to get started. They put you on some sort of high ground to get you started. They've put you to, if you're even lucky enough to have gone to school, they've put you to school. Now, when you grow up, it's not about your parents anymore. If you grow up after 18, 20, 25, 30, and you're still a bad person, people go like, yeah, when I was a child, my father did this, that is why I'm this way. Come on, it's not your father's fault. It is your fault. Because if your father did something wrong to you at this age, now you grew up, you know better. You know that this is a wrong behavior. What have you done as a person to change that? And what you find is that most people do not even do self-development. Like after school, they don't learn anything else. There's so much information in books that you have to learn to keep on developing yourself. You have to learn and unlearn certain values and behaviors, certain processes that you adopted growing up. You've now, when you learn, you come to see that, okay, there's a better way of doing this. Then you have to stop doing things the old way and adopt the better way. And that is why it is not your parents' fault that you grow up and stay a bad person or have certain bad attitudes. It is their responsibility only up to 18 years old, up to the point where you are conscious enough to make your own decisions. After that, I mean, that's why some people say that it is your fault. It is not your fault when you are born poor, but it's your fault when you die poor. To some extent, that can be true because being rich also depends on certain opportunities where you are born. A lot of stuff goes into it. But what I'm saying is that when it comes to human behavior, your true attitude depends on you. Especially if you're able to make it past 18 years old, 19, 20, you should be able to figure things out and sort of learn whatever you don't. There's so much books. There are so many books that you can learn that can enhance your development, like Rich Dad, Poor Dad, you know, what is it, 48 Laws of Power. There's so much material out there. The problem is that people don't like to read.